The Pittsburgh Steelers still lack quality and depth at the outside linebacker position. That may seem crazy, but it's true. Hello, Steeler Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate with me, your host, Owen David, speaking to you here in the UK. Guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate is one of the only fan-driven channels that brings you news, views, updates, stories, all sorts of content about your Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. We are better than that, like chat sports. You are Broncos fans, Cowboys fans, Raiders fans, guys. Me and Mark and Mackenzie are all Steelers fans. We know this team. We love this team. We've grown up with this team. Guys, that's why we want to bring you the very best content. Well, let's have a look at this defense, this $100 million defense. Now, despite the fact that this defense is worth $100 million on paper, I feel that it still lacks, it still lacks in a number of positions, doesn't it? Now, obviously, for me, I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it, that I'm blue in the face. Cornerback one is the biggest need in the draft. Ig is the biggest need in free agency. We've got to address that cornerback one need, given the amount of times the Steelers were burnt this last season by top wide receivers like AJ Brown, by Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, etc., etc. But another area that we do have a lack of depth, a lack of quality in, is an outside linebacker. And we saw that this season when TJ Watt went out injured. Obviously, having TJ missing for all those weeks, I think played a substantial part to us going 2-6 into the bye. If we could have turned a couple of those defeats into wins, we would have definitely been a playoff team. And I honestly think in these playoffs, the way they've panned out, the Steelers would have had a really good opportunity to get all the way to the AFC Championship game. Now, we look at the stats of TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, and we see what a quality job these two guys did. You can see obviously their Watt's track record, their absolutely phenomenal track record. But this season, as it says there, he only played 10 games. And of those 10 games, how many was he fully fit for? I would say probably half of them. He made 39 total tackles, which breaks down as 27 solo, 12 assisted. He had 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions, and 5 passes defensed. A very un-TJ Watt-like year, wasn't it? And I think that obviously is substantially negated by the fact that he did miss an awful lot of time this season. Certainly if you go back to 2021, you see the true TJ Watt. Alex Highsmith did really step up big time in the absence of TJ Watt. And even when Watt was back, Alex Highsmith was at times our top pass rusher. Alex, for me, has shown, if you look at his stats, has shown a progression in his quality, a progression in his ability. Sack-wise, 2 sacks, 6 sacks, 14.5 sacks. He really has, developed to be a great outside linebacker. Also, he's one of our best run defenders as well. If you look at this season, he played all 17 games, recorded 63 total tackles, which breaks down as 38 solo, 25 assisted, 14.5 sacks, which I think was tied 6th in the NFL, 5 forced fumbles, which was very high as well in the NFL, 1 pass defensed as well. He did an absolutely exceptional job this season, didn't he? He really did have a breakthrough year. Now, the issue we had was then once Watt was out, who was there? There really was nobody there. Excuse me. There really was nobody there to replace TJ Watt. There was no quality to come in as well to spell Alex Highsmith, to spell TJ Watt. And I think we saw plenty of that when we even had to use DeMarvin Leal at times to spell TJ and Alex Highsmith. And when TJ was out, we had to use DeMarvin Leal, who is a defensive lineman, to play outside linebacker. If we look at the two guys who come behind Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt in the rotation, you'll see why we struggled so much at the outside linebacker position. Jameer Jones and Malik Reed. Now, Jameer Jones was re-signed when Derek Tushka was released, which in my eyes was actually a mistake. I don't rate Jameer Jones. I really do hope we get rid of him this offseason. If you look at Jameer Jones, his stats from this year, he played all 17 games, 10 total tackles, 6 breakdown 4, no sacks, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no interception, 1 pass defensed. Very poor return on that. And he was very, very used as well. I think that just showed the confidence they had in him as a backup outside linebacker. He was more a special teamer. Yes, I do accept that special teams is important, but Jameer Jones is in the lineup because he's an outside linebacker. We can't continue to go down this line of he's in the team because he's good at special teams. He's in the team because he's good at special teams. Because that's how we justified Marcus Allen. That's how we justify Benny Snell. That's how we justify Jameer Jones. That's how we justify so many players. But we need quality backup to Highsmith and Watt. We need people who can come in and spell them. Malik Reed, who we traded for, 25 total tackles on the season, 8 solos, 17 assisted, only 1 sack, 2 passes defense, and at the end of the season was a lot of the time a healthy scratch. So where was the depth? Where was the quality behind these guys? There really is a need in this offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers to go out and address that position, to pull in some quality depth behind Highsmith and Watt. Now, I know that obviously Highsmith and Watt are the top 2, and there is a need, I think, as well to renew Alex Highsmith's deal this off-season. You know, Alex is going into the final year of his contract next season, his final year of his rookie deal, and I really do hope that Omar Khan can work his financial wizardry and tie Alex Highsmith down to a long-term deal. I think, you know, if we got a long-term deals on Watt, which we have, and on Highsmith, we've got ourselves a pretty formidable 1-2 punch at outside linebacker. But we do need a third option to come in there to spell them, and even a fourth option who is of at least average quality to really support this defense and to give us time to keep our top outside linebackers like Alex, like TJ healthy. Now, I know yesterday we signed Quincy Roche to a futures contract. This doesn't mean that he is on the 53-man roster yet. And we saw obviously in 2021, when he was released by the Steelers, that he had a positive impact when he played for the Giants. 2.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 23 solo tackles, 15 assisted, 5 stuffs. He did a pretty good job for the Giants on that thing, and certainly better than Jameer Jones and Malik Reed. So it could be that Roche might be that good fourth person to pull up onto the 53-man roster. But I still think there is a gap there. There is a hole there that needs to be addressed. And for me, outside linebacker is a position that they well could do with either addressing in the draft or going out and getting somebody in free agency. Now, it may be that the draft is the best place to go and get someone, a rookie who can sit and learn behind Highsmith and Watt and come through and would be happy playing that role. We saw the problems that Melvin Ingram created when he came to the franchise, that he felt that he should play ahead of Alex Highsmith. But obviously, you know, Highsmith is an outstanding talent, as we've seen this season. And obviously, Ingram was moving towards the end of his career. So it may be that free agency is not the way we should go on this. But certainly the draft, I think that outside linebacker is a key position we do need to address and get some quality depth in there behind Highsmith and Watt. Anyway, Steeler Nation, let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and to come and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate family. Remember to keep checking us out daily for daily videos, podcasts. Ask Mackenzie on a Tuesday night. Absolutely brilliant watch. Weekly podcasts with me and Mark, and sometimes Mackenzie as well. And during the season, pre-game and post-game shows. So come on, guys, hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and come and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Here we go, Steelers. Come on.